with Wealth for Life, there is a little bit of personal care.
We didn't go through the investing, and I don't think we would be where we are today.
I would never go to a bank directly again.
Let's do it together.
They're giving me more confidence.
We feel totally secure now.
It was just easy.
There's a capability there that we didn't even know we had.
Stressful wise, Anthony's always there.
After the first meeting, those fears were gone.
They make us comfortable before we made the next step to invest.
Who wants to work until they're 80? Seriously.
We actually have seen the benefits.
It's like nothing's changed, but we're getting wealthier every day.
They've laid out the plan out for the next 20 years and
looks great.
And I know exactly where I'm going.
They really are the real deal.
We feel included.
I'm able to retire at a very younger age.
We're in the process of building our dream home after 18 years being stuck in the one home.
Financial independence for us and for our children.
Build something for our son, Rocco.
And set up our kids' futures as well.
Set themselves up for life.
They were amazing.
So certainly will make a big difference to you.
They changed our lives.
We feel included.
Go to Wealth for Life. Full stop.
Hey guys, Anthony Peluso here, founder and CEO of Wealth for Life, coming at you one more time this Wednesday evening, bringing to you some more information, knowledge, power, whatever you want to call it, regarding the real estate industry and finance industry. So if you're in Australia, and unless you've been living under a rock the last, 5 days or so, you would have noticed some significant changes with regards to the real estate industry and how that affects especially homeowners. So we're going to cover a lot of that tonight, and I'm going to answer all the questions you guys have sent through. We've been absolutely inundated with inquiries since this was announced. I'm talking about the HomeBuilder boost that the Morrison government announced on Thursday, I think it was, 4th of June. So I'm going to cover all your questions tonight. And of course, if you've got more, feel free to send them through and we'll get back to you. All right, let's get started. So what is this HomeBuilder boost? Okay, so the Morrison government, in an attempt to stimulate the industry, the economy, especially the construction and property industry, have released a $688 million package to get just over 27,000 projects off the ground across Australia. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because there's a lot of misconception out there in terms of who qualifies for something like this. So let's go through this bit by bit, okay? First of all, you need to understand that it's the government is giving you a $25,000 grant, okay? It's for new buildings or new people building new homes or renovating homes, okay? Where the value of the property doesn't exceed $750,000, okay? Renovations need to be valued between $150,000 and $750,000, where the value of the existing property doesn't exceed $1.5 million, okay? The contract that you enter into must be between the 4th of June to the 31st of December 2020. So you've got till the end of the year, and construction must start within a 3-month period. I'll cover that off in a minute and what that actually means. Now, you must be an owner-occupier earning no more than $125,000 per annum if you're an individual, or $200,000 as a couple, okay? You also need to be an Australian resident, because there's a little bit more criteria on this. Need to be an Australian citizen over the age of 18. It really is purely based around owner-occupiers and owner-occupiers only, okay? There's nothing that's being given to the investors. Even though there was a couple of groups that lobbied quite hard with the building industry, there is nothing here for investors. But investors, fear not, because you guys don't miss out. You just need to know how to take advantage of it. So let me break it down, okay? If you're an owner-occupier, right, and you're wanting to upgrade, do some renovations, you're getting $25,000. And by the way, the State Revenue Office gives you this if you're building a house when you settle on the land, and then you make an application through the State Revenue Office if you're renovating some property, right? So guys out there, if you've been looking to get into your own home, okay, you will never ever find opportunities such as what you have in front of you today, okay? And I'm talking right now to the probably, just getting out of the nest, the 22 to 30-year-olds, okay? 35-year-olds that are looking to get into their own home, where in the past the great Australian dream has been out of reach purely based on property prices, stamp duty, lack of deposit, right? Not having the funds to come up with a deposit. There is no better opportunity than what's available to you right now, okay? I would almost go as far to say that if you can't do this right now, you'll probably never do this, okay? Because certain things are going to happen as a result of this. Like the inquiry across the country, and I've been reading all the articles from land developers, to real estate agents, to builders, has been incredible. Most of the land estates in the last 5 days have been chock-a-block full. Okay, so what's this going to mean for the industry? Number one, I'm not so sure that this is going to go all the way to the 31st of December, okay? I wouldn't be waiting right to the end to take advantage of this, okay? There's some things that I'm observing in the market right now, which I've got a feeling they may pull this well before December, okay? Hope I'm wrong, but I would certainly be looking at doing this sooner rather than later. I mean, there's already been some tweaks to JobKeeper for certain sectors of the economy right now, right, which aren't going to see it through the end of September. So I certainly wouldn't be sitting around trying to figure this out if it's something you want to do as a homeowner, okay? But please understand what you need to qualify. Just because the government is giving you this grant, right, you still need to be able to service the loan and service the debt, okay? So you still need to have the income, you still need to manage your expenses, you still need to be able to get the finance from the lenders, okay? Too many of you guys are already jumping all over this, really not having an understanding of what you need to do to be able to qualify. Not so much whether you get the grant, but whether you can actually service the loan, okay? Some quick math that I've worked out. If you look at a $570,000 loan at your average principal and interest repayment, forget what the interest rate is, but some quick maths I did was that you're looking at $2,500 monthly repayments on the loan, okay? Now, that's going to move depending on the lender, depending on the interest rate, depending on the amount of the loan, and so on, okay? So it's purely based on owner-occupiers. Now, renovations. This is an interesting one because I looked at this and I thought, your renovations need to be between $150,000 to $750,000, okay? But your income has to be less than $125,000 if you're an individual. So I'm thinking to myself, who does 150 plus renovation on an income of $125,000 a year? Or who does a 150 plus renovation on a household income of $200,000 a year? Now, I understand that this is to help out a lot of the tradies, okay, and I get that. But I think you'll find that a majority of the people that will be taking this up will be people looking to build new homes, okay? New homes because it's going to stimulate the economy, provide employment, as opposed to established property, right? So what it's going to do to the market, you're going to find that all what we call titled or registered pieces of land are going to get snapped up like this, right? If I'm a vendor right now, I know what I'd be doing to the price of the real estate that I'm looking to put on the market. And if I'm a developer, I know what I'd be doing, right? And you're already starting to see that. So now this grant, this package is being offered all around Australia, okay? When you look at the Sydney markets, I'm not really sure how that, to be honest with you, assists people in Sydney because you still need to go pretty far out to be able to buy something, under $750,000, okay, if you're in Sydney. So that's interesting. I think you'll find that a lot of this is actually, whilst it hasn't been intentionally pushed down to Melbourne, Melbourne's the market that's going to probably see the greatest benefit out of that. Over the weekend, I believe the Western Australian market got an additional grant of around $20,000, purely based on the fact that market is tanking and going down 100 miles an hour, okay? I personally, as an investor, would never invest in WA. Sorry, guys out in WA. I love you guys. My wife's from WA. We have a lot of clients in WA, but as a money-making activity, I would not put any of my money in WA. As a homeowner, sure, okay, have a look at that. But you'll find that the greatest impact on a program such as this is going to come out of Melbourne, okay? And not so much for apartments or townhouses, because you need to build by a certain stage, okay? And you find if you're getting into an apartment building, they're usually 2 or 3 years down the track before they register and title. So it's not going to work for people buying into apartments or most townhouse projects. Where this will have the most significant impact and take up will be in the outer fringes of Melbourne, Victoria, in traditionally that house and land package area. Okay, it's just perfect for areas like that. It fits within that under that $750,000 price point. It's where a lot of the homeowners are very, very active, and you can secure the piece of real estate knowing full well the piece of land that if you're working with a good builder and you've bought the right land, you can get your construction started within a 3-month period. Okay, but keep in mind that you need to start within 3 months. So do some homework on this. Okay, it's the grant that what's being offered is great, but have a look at what you're doing here. Have a look at where you're buying. There's some benefits if you're a first homeowner as opposed to a homeowner. So where you've never had your home before and you're getting into the first homeowner market, you can take advantage of the stamp duty. Okay, so under $600,000, and for a first homeowner, Australian residents, there is no stamp duty. So you're saving yourself roughly $31,000 on a $600,000 property. Add the $25,000 boost, there's another, $56,000. Plus you get the homeowners grant, $10,000 metro, $20,000 regional. There's another 10 grand. And if you qualify for the deposit scheme, which is where you can borrow up to 95% of the value of the property without paying lender's mortgage insurance, there's another $12,000 to $15,000 that you get to save. So you could be up around $70,000 in benefits, in grants, in assistance from the Australian government. Okay, you need to tick some boxes and follow some criteria, but it's an incredible opportunity for first homeowners. Okay, but please be cautious. Okay, do your homework. We just got off the phone with a couple of people right now that called in. You still got to be able to get the loan, and you still got to be able to afford the loan. Okay. So make sure that's the most important part, okay? Yes, your deposit assistance is being given to you, which is great, but make sure you can service the debt. So, listen, what I think that's going to do is, I've made it quite clear, you're going to have a really hot real estate market, at least certain markets over the next, over the second half of 2020, okay? And God knows we need some success. We need some. We need some cheer in the joy in the second half of 2020, because it's been an interesting first half of 2020. Okay, I've just shut the news channel down and not even looking at that stuff. But there's some good news right now for the economy moving forward, and especially if you're a homeowner. If you're investors, okay, because a lot of investors always feel like they get left out. The reality is the government. If you can afford to invest, the government's really not going to help you. Okay, but be smart, guys, as investors. Okay, if you've got your own home, you're comfortable with your own home, understand this: 70% of housing out there is owner-occupier based. Okay, only 30% are investors. If you look at I talked about this last week. If you look at all the properties out there, 70% are made up by owner-occupiers. Owner-occupiers will always drive the real estate market. We as investors makes such a little dent, right, to the growth of real estate. So if you're an investor, know this, okay? Your competition has always been owner-occupiers, and it's going to be more and more fierce starting right now. So if you're looking to invest, now's the perfect time to invest, because if on the back of all this owner-occupier activity and assistance, especially in those outer suburbs, right, you're going to get property prices going through the roof. I mean, it's already starting to happen. This is not something I'm even predicting or forecasting. It's happening right now, okay? One particular estate did something like 40 pieces of land just in the last 10 days, okay? So you're up against it if you're an investor. The last thing you want to be doing is sitting out as a spectator, because owner-occupiers are going to push prices up, okay? Challenge me on that as much as you want. That is a fact. That is reality. You don't put in a program such as this, coupled by, historic low interest rates, and not see, a spike in property prices moving forward, okay? Even the unemployment, the X factor, I'm reminded that when we had unemployment figures around like at 9-10% back in, I think, in 1980 and 1990, it did nothing to dampen property prices, okay? So the government needs to get the economy back on its feet. It needs to get the third biggest industry operating and profitable. It needs to get jobs back out on the market, because JobKeeper is not going to last forever. And as a result of this, guys, first homeowners are going to take advantage of this, are going to do very, very well with regards to getting into the market if they can get the loan, but it's going to push prices up, especially out in those outer suburbs. If you're an investor, now's the time to get in and ride on the coattails of what owner-occupiers are going to do. Sitting out as an investor right now is only going to, it's only going to make it more expensive for you to get in. Not only more expensive, but then you're having to buy real estate that doesn't register much, much further down the track, because owner-occupiers right now, it's like, what is it? It's like those piranhas, right? They're just snapping up all the bait, all the food, all the fish that's out there in the market right now. And we'll get to a point real soon where there'll be no land left for someone to build on straight away, because the land isn't registered. And remember, this only goes to the 31st of December. And for you to take advantage of this, you've got to start construction within a 3-month period. Okay, so buying land that registers in 12 months, say, isn't going to help you. It probably won't help you. If any land registers past March next year, you could be knocked out of the scheme. So pay attention to that, guys. Right now, if you've got the financial wherewithal, right now is, whether you're a homeowner or an investor, now is not the time to spectate and let me think about it. Now's not the right time. If you can borrow, I've always said it all along, if you're employed, right, your income is secure, you can borrow money, okay, and you can service the debt, there ain't no better time. It ain't going to get any better than this. Okay, I've done all the maths on this. I've looked at this. It's not going to get any better. There's nothing going to be available in 12 months, 2 years' time that's going to make this any better, other than more expensive entry points. Okay, the money's good. Do your maths. If you can get in, perfect opportunity. Guys, that's really all I wanted to say about that. I think I've answered most of your questions here. Not something I'm really considering is gonna take off for renovators. The tradie industry, absolutely. But I think where you're going to see the greatest uptake of this homeowner, what do they call this? Homeowner boost, home builder boost, where you're going to see the greatest uptake is going to be in those house and land fringe areas in Melbourne, because they've got to fit that under $750,000 price point, okay? It's got to be a new home. So where do you build a new home for under $750,000 in Australia, right? You've got the median house price in Melbourne, $680, okay? Can't be established property, so it's got to be new property. You know, you're not going to be able to build that in Port Melbourne, as an example, for under $750,000. It won't work with apartments or necessarily townhouses. So you're going to be going out to those regional areas, or those fringe areas, your 25, 30 kilometre radius. And that's where you're going to get the growth. Okay, so if you're an investor, you know where you need to go for good capital appreciation and cash flow, right? And rent. So that's what's going to get the most uptake. I'm still trying to figure this out for Sydney people and how they benefit from this, given how expensive it is to build in Sydney and where you need to be in Sydney to make this attractive. You're probably going to be closer to Melbourne than you are Sydney, based on the criteria that you need to actually meet. So, guys, I hope I've given you an insight into what the government released last week. I think it's great for the industry. Not everyone's in agreement with it. Okay, there's some people that believe the government should have put its money in maybe some other sectors. I'm not here to argue that, but you look at what creates the most amount of jobs, what contributes the most to our GDP. And we need this country back on its feet. We need it employed. We need it working. People feel good when they're working. People feel like shit stuck at home, not being able to work. Okay, when you can contribute and do your bit for society and for your employer, and you feel like, the greatest thing as a human being is to contribute. Okay, and when that's taken away from you, your spirit drops. You start to introvert. Life's not attractive. So, that's what this program, this boost has actually been designed for. Any questions you've got, guys, hit me up, 1300 793 877. Talk to my guys out there. They're fielding a ton of calls right now. Or go to our Facebook page, email us. You guys know how to get to us. I truly believe that the next 6 months, the first half is a wipe-off of 2020, okay? I think everyone's trying to erase that from its memory bank. But the next 6 months are going to be very, very good if you're in a position to take advantage of what our government has put on the table. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening in again. I hope you get a lot out of it. I know you do. Your questions are fantastic. Your feedback is great. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful to be able to bring you this information each Wednesday night. We're going to continue to do that. We've got some other great initiatives and programs that we're going to be taking to the market. But if you're a homeowner, give us a call. We'll be able to help you. If you're an investor, give us a call. We'll be able to help you. And until next Wednesday night, guys, stay safe. It's really good to see some people back on the road and people back at work and kids back at school. And you know what? Just seeing people at a restaurant on the weekend put a massive smile on my face. Stay well, guys. We'll see you real soon.